Can you guys tell I reorganized my books? Can you see it? I'm so proud. Hi y'all. Welcome back to my channel. We're on episode 2 of 1,000 Pound Roomies, and I have been slacking a little bit. There's like 6 episodes going out now, but that's okay. It's fine. I went ahead and binge watched them all. I'm all caught up. Some things were going on. We're going to go ahead and talk about episode 2. And then you guys will see me very soon with episode 3. Things are starting to get a little dramatic now. So we ended episode 1 where Jazz is at the doctor's office with Dr. Nori. I think I'm saying that right. It's been a while. Oh my gosh. Flip it to you. You can still hear me. Free hands. Jazz gets weighed at the doctor's office, and she seems surprised about her weight. Now, let's just say she did think, since the last time she was at a doctor's office and got weighed, she was between 500, maybe hitting 600, and Jazz gets weighed at 630 pounds. She's a bit shocked about that.
630 pounds. Oh.
And as she hobbles on back to the room, and Nisha, of course, went with her because she's her designated driver, immediately is like, how'd it go? What did it say? I think what's happening when she gets asked this question from Nisha, and you can just see her sighing and sitting there. Basically, I think her brain is just like trying to take in and compartmentalize, if you will, the fact that she's 630 pounds. And Dr. Nori seems a lot more motivated and just ready to give Jazz a set goal so that she can approve her for bariatric surgery, because she's already told her you are a candidate for it, yes, but she has a goal to lose 130 pounds before she can actually be approved for scheduling the surgery, if that makes sense.
That's a whole person.
And Jazz and Nisha, when they hear lose 130 pounds, they're both like, we can't do that.
I feel like I can't do it. That's a whole person.
Like, I mean, Nisha wasn't going to do it anyway. She's not here for the surgery. But Jazz is literally like, I can't do that. There's no possible way. If I could lose weight on my own, I would have done that already. I need the surgery. That's why I'm here. Dr. Nori basically ends the appointment saying, if you do not make any changes, you're not going to be here much longer. Like, there's no way. You're just going up and up and up and up in your weight, and you're not going to get better. Like, gaining more weight is not going to equal you somehow one day just waking up and being like, I feel amazing, even though for the last whatever years of my life, I felt like crap. That's not going to happen. Let's just say they go from being in the doctor's office, this shocked like expression, everything, how they feel about all the information and all the news, straight up into cooking a good, fatty, delicious, indulgent meal. Not my words, theirs. Nisha, as we know, is the more mobile between the two of them, so she does most of the cooking. Jasmine's like, let's weigh ourselves, Nisha, and bratty freaking Nisha is straight up says, no, I don't want to weigh myself. We're about to eat. Like, why would we weigh ourselves? Don't do that. I don't want to weigh myself. I don't want to be tied down by a scale. Stop asking me. And Jasmine's like, how do you know where you are if you don't weigh yourself? Anyways, back and forth. Nisha does not weigh herself. Whatever. During this kind of like back and forth, we find out that Jazz was given a prescription for the for one of the weight loss shots.
I started the weight loss shot about a month ago, and each week they increase the dose.
Now it's actually starting to do what it's supposed to do, and she's barely hungry. You know, what it does is basically makes you feel full so that you don't have the craving, your body doesn't have the craving to continue and continue and continue. I'll keep my personal opinions to myself regarding these weight loss shots. They are not my favorite, but that's just, again, I'll just keep it to myself. Nisha's like, I'm doing it without the shot, you're doing it with the shot. Basically, she says, you have help, as in she's cheating, even though she weighs more than her. Anyway, and it's going for surgery, but again, it's not my business. It's not my business. I'm just here to say what they did in the episode. For some early good news, Jasmine is already down 40 pounds.
Oh, yes.
She gets on the scale, and she's already showing progress with her weight loss, and that is That's really good, actually. And like I said, it is good news. She's down 40 pounds and out of the 130 she needs to get down, but she's not taking it that way. Jazz is literally just thinking about the remainder of the 90 pounds that she needs to lose. And she's like, this 40 really isn't anything. And girl, it is, because you were only gaining weight before. So if I was your friend, I'd be like, take it as it is, but keep going. Okay? Kudos, queen. Kudos. Now, back to this indulgent cheat meal.
Today we are planning a cheat meal.
They still make my thing is that they still make big plates, and so they sit down and they're eating, and of course Jazz it takes a couple bites and she's like, ooh, I'm full. And Nisha throws the biggest fit. I'm gonna literally keep calling her a brat until she gets together what she needs to get together, because she's like, I just sat here and cooked all this food and you're full. And she's yelling at her like she's not on a shot to make her full, to force her body to lose weight.
Nope.
To assist her body in losing weight. Like, that's what it's supposed to do. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And Jazz says what I think is completely appropriate for this moment. She's like, I'll just wrap it up and eat it throughout the day. Like, you don't have to cook again. Well, I'll just eat this. And that's literally probably what she's going to do, because what else? What other option does she have? She's not going to waste the food. But Nisha thinks, if you don't eat this food, I just made it, this whole plate right here, right now, you're like disrespecting me for providing us with some nutrition today. And she's like, I'll just eat it throughout the day. And Nisha's like, well, you're going to be eating it like all day. And it's like, that's fine. At this, ow, I hit my foot. At this moment, Jazz has Nisha. No. At this moment, Jazz invites Nisha to her granny's house for a Sunday dinner. The only issue that Nisha has is that it's a Sunday dinner. And you know, Nisha was raised in a cult. She was born and raised in a cult. And because of her being raised in this cult, she has an issue with religion. So she's like, as long as I'm not going to be brought to church, I will go with you, because basically Jasmine's plan for going to this Sunday dinner is she wants to tell her family, I'm getting bariatric surgery and I just want you guys to be on my side, because if anything happens, I need my family to take care of my little one. That's literally the only reason she says that she tells her family. In my opinion, you are who you choose to hang out around, who you choose to be your friends. Nisha and Jazz's friendship is already starting to change. Speaking of getting used to your surroundings, we find out that Nisha actually had a career-driven dream to be a she literally went to school in Hollywood, I believe she said, to be a makeup artist. But what's the thing that's keeping her from being a makeup artist? She says at my size, ooh, I shouldn't not that tone. Because of her size, and I'm not saying this. She says because of her size, she chose to help out her mom with this daycare situation, like an in-home daycare. Being on her feet and the constant movement is not plausible in her mind at her current size. And that's how you know this she has a problem. It's impacting her way of life. Like, and yes, she's still working and stuff, but she doesn't really want to be doing that. She put the time and effort to go to school, and because of her size, she's literally like, can't do it. Let's just do something else.
Oh, you
Awesome,
go, yes.
queen.
Yeah, we all
We
want
love
that.
it. We have another little piece of happiness going on. A good change in the direction. So Dr. Nori told Jazz and Nisha, but mostly Jazz, you need to start incorporating exercise. Makes sense, right? It makes sense to your weight loss plan. Nisha and Jazz go to a water aerobics class at a gym, I think. It's really good for you. No matter the reason, if you're just heavier, you really should do swimming, water aerobics, just like anything where it can kind of let all that float and not be on you until you get to the point where you can, because obviously Jazz isn't going to like go for a run. We have a dilemma. Jazz has to find a way into the pool. She is stressed about it. I don't blame her. Jazz does not have the strongest legs, so she's worried about like if I can't use the stairs. We all know how stairs are in pools. It's dangerous, y'all. It's dangerous. And there's this really sweet instructor that's there, and she's like, "Hey, well, I'll help you in." I'm so thirsty. Wow. been talking too much. Of course, Jazz is having her anxiety attack for a little bit, but it's like, hey, we'll work through it. And giving Jazz the most hilarious, like, advice on how to get into the pool. Just flop in here. Just dive. I'll catch you. We both can catch you. And I'm telling you right now, if there is a 600-pound person, and I know it's her friend, but let's say I have a 600-pound bestie, and she's trying to get into the pool, I am not going to tell you that I will catch you.
Okay, there it is.
That is wild, Nisha. And what did Jazz end up doing? She ended up just laying flat on her side, plank style, and then she just rolled right on in there. It looked better than my demonstration, maybe a little bit, by like 5%. And once she gets in, all the anxiety goes away. The instructor gives her a hug, and she does the workout. Start working out, you kind of get this this little workout bug, if you will, this exercising bug. Like, I really hope she just gets like the healthy fitness bug so she can do this again, not just like a one and done thing, And of course, we have Melinda, who comes over, our vegan friend, or Jasmine's vegan friend, who has the cutest little dog, the one she puts in the clothes. It's so cute. Remember earlier I was saying you are the company you keep. So it's really nice that Melinda is, that other friend that Jazz can have. What should be in my fridge and my cabinets and stuff. So that's basically what Jazz called Melinda over. Could you just look in our kitchen and just, like, what doesn't need to be in there? Like, because she eats healthy. She did it herself, lost over 100 pounds or whatever. So it's good to have a friend who will tell you the truth, but in a loving way. So Melinda she gets in that kitchen and she gets on it. She takes out donuts and ice cream and I think it was fried foods, like frozen things that you would fry out of there, and lots and lots of snacks. Again, we got bratty Nisha. She does not want to part with any of her snacks. She's like, I'm having a problem here with you taking stuff out because some of this stuff is mine. Oh, my cat's eating. Meow. Nisha is having a whole bratty fit, but because she feels like she's getting attacked because her snacks are now no longer in the fridge in the cabinet, they're now on the island being scrutinized. She's telling Jasmine, like, you don't have to take out my snacks. No, just don't look at them. Like, do I need to get you a blindfold? Why are you looking at my snacks if you can't have them? Not a good friend. She's not a good friend for that. Don't be Don't be like that, Nisha. And so what Nisha does is she's like, I'm going to take some of this stuff to my room. And she literally takes like a hunk of junk, literally junk, and just takes it to her room along with a donut shoved in her mouth. And it's like, have it, And I honestly, at this point, I don't think Nisha is going to help Jazz stay on her healthy diet. So it's never a good thing when you live with someone who also doesn't want to do the journey with you. But I'm pretty sure that Nisha was telling Dr. Nori in the office, "Oh, I'll do whatever it takes. I don't want to have the surgery, but it couldn't hurt for me to eat a little bit healthier with Jazz." She takes her little snooty snacks to her room. We have a brand new day. I'm gonna move past it. We have a brand new day, and our girls are on their way to the salon. They're on their way to get their hair done before the Sunday dinner, basically. As usual, Jazz is worried about something. She is worried that she won't be able to fit in these chairs at the salon, and I don't blame her for having that worry. But remember, Jazz cannot drive, and Nisha's car is in the shop or something like that, so they need to call someone to take him to the salon. So we are introduced to Joel, who is Nisha's situationship. I don't want to get into that because the Leo in me just wants to be kind of like, figure out what you are. Like, why are you stringing me on for 19 to 20 years, dude? Like, and this is both of them too. This isn't just on the guy, and it's not just on Nisha. They both are way too comfortable, and they've known each other way too long. They need to spread apart, find other people. They need to come together. I don't have. On our way to the salon, we find that the chairs actually look a little accommodating. And guess what? The chairs do not break. At Granny's house, they get there, and of course, Jazz is a little nervous. because they have not seen her as big as she is right now. And also, her mobility is like way less than it used to be. But she's literally like on a wheelchair and she's like using the wheelchair while bent forward, like hobbling. She walked to the pool better in episode 1 than she's walking right now, and she has lost almost 50 pounds. Sorry. When they get there, there's a lot of family, there's a lot of food. Before I get to how this interaction with the family went, I will say their food looked good, but now we're going to get on to like how the actual interaction went with the rest of the family. I'm going to personally say I think they were a little disrespectful. Jazz says, what my granny says goes. That means if granny says no to surgery, she's like, you can't get surgery. Hang with me, guys. This is the last stretch of the episode before we get to episode 3. Once all the food is done and they all sit down at the table or wherever it is you can find a spot, then Granny asks Nisha, can you pray over our food? If somebody's grandma asks you to do something, shut up and do it. But not everybody is raised like that, and Nisha's one of those people. She does end up praying because they talk her through it. Not into it. They talk her through her uneasiness about saying a prayer over the food.
But I have something I need to talk to y'all about.
When is Jazz going to tell her family about the surgery? Because she's got this family friend that's just piling on a bunch of food on this plate. Jazz and Nisha are just like, she's not going to eat all that.
I'm not going to eat all this.
Okay, why?
Jazz is like, I have something to tell you guys. She drops, I want bariatric surgery.
I know your feelings about it, but I'm thinking about having weight loss surgery.
Oh, Jazz, you know how I feel about that.
Granny and Jazz's mom throw a fat attitude about the whole thing. Especially Jazz's mom.
Why surgery?
Hope I can catch the clip of what she said specifically because it is so rude. And it's not even just her being mean to Jazz, kind of like standoffish in her face. The whole thing of like, if you can lose the weight by yourself, why do you want the surgery? Like, you're just being lazy. It's because it's an easier option, huh? Like, she's just like bombarding her.
If you can lose 100 pounds, then why are you doing the surgery? Because it's an easier option or something? Yeah, but I know a lot of people had it and was successful, but they're not in my family.
Right.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
we're talking about my daughter.
Right.
Fight me. You're not about to talk to me like that. I'm trying to help de-escalate the situation, and you're over here having an attitude. Grouchy. Ew. But her granny's not happy either. She's just not being as like, buck up in your face about it as Jazz's mom is. And I kid you not, the episode literally ends with Jazz just bawling her eyes out at the table, just crying, napkin and everything. And I get why they're scared. I get why people are scared when it comes to major surgeries or just surgeries in general. But I'm pretty sure she's going to get the surgery, even if her family right now is still being like, no. See you guys later. Okay, bye.